Hey everybody, Raziel here, coming back at you with another Smite video. It's been a while, I apologize. God Guide has probably been a month or so, and it's been a couple weeks since I've uploaded anything. I've been busy with life and with Smite itself, and some Titanfall and a couple other games as well. But, just not enough time in the day to do things. But anyway, I wanted to come here today because Season 4 is dropping for the PC on February 1st, which is the day that this video is going to be coming out. And then a week after that, it's going to be dropping on consoles. I wanted to give a brief overview of the God changes specifically to Smite on 4.1 and what that means for some people's gameplay, how it's going to affect them. And I'll go over that in a little bit. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up and or subscribe to the channel. I will have more Smite content coming down once Season 4 drops. I'm going to try to do the weekly God Guide and maybe even sneak in addendums to the gods I did in Season 3 because a lot of the items are changing in Season 4. They're adding some items, they're tweaking existing items, relics, etc., etc. So there might be some addendums on the build specifically, but their kit might stay the same, so it might be a short, like 5-10 minute video as opposed to my normal God Guide length. And then some other things on the horizon. I want to get some more Titanfall videos out, but that's not specifically for Smite, so I'm going to just curb that conversation for another day. Anyway, as I was saying, let's get into this. Let's go. So first things first, I want to go over specifically ranked changes that are happening. But before I get into that, I want to go over Season 3 ranked rewards. They announced that the day before this video drops, the 31st of January, if you are Gold 5 or higher in any ranked, whether it's Conquest or Joust, and maybe even Duel, I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know ranked or Joust, you would get a Xingtian Iron Tyrant skin, and if you were Platinum or higher by that date, you would get a loading frame, and depending on your Conquest or Joust or your Diamond, Masters, Platinum, etc., it would look slightly different, but essentially be the same loading frame. Now, in addition to that, season 3 essentially ends January 31st. So on PC, February 1st is when Season 4 starts. Now on consoles, I'm not 100% sure how that's going to say. Is it going to bleed into season or February 8th, Season 3 into February 8th, or does it end on the 31st like everyone else and we just have to wait a week before we get that extra content? Not 100% sure on that. We'll see once this video drops and the days after that. But one of the reasons why I had not been able to, not quote unquote been able to do videos was because I was grinding the hell out of ranked Joust. I went from qualifying with 0-4 in qualifying all the way to Platinum 5 in about a week and a half with a couple of my clan members. And we did some friggin' work. I ended up, I think, 30 wins, 12 losses out of everything. And I was able to get that Xingtian skin. And since I got the Platinum 5, I'm going to get a loading frame as well. So thank you for doing that, guys, if you're watching this video. And so Season 4, they're going to do something different with ranked because it's going to follow the Pro League splits in that there's going to be 3 splits for ranked as well. So when Season 4 starts, they're going to do a hard reset on your matchmaking record or rating. Matchmaking rating, I think it is, or ELO, if you've also heard it called that. And then you have to go through qualifying again. And then you'll have a spring split, a summer split, and a fall split. Same schedule as the Pro League. And then each, consequent, when the next split starts, they'll do a soft reset. And I don't know how much, there'll be for qualifying after that, but you probably have to qualify to some extent, and then your previous splits record will come into account when you're placed after qualifying. Additionally, there'll be separate rewards each split. So say you're the top 50 in Conquest, and you'll get a certain amount of gems. The top 5 get a certain amount of gems. and then 50, it'll get like 100 gems or something like that. Additionally, though, each split they're having rankings for gods as well. So if you play a ranked game in an obscure god and you're one of the top players of that specific god, then you will also receive gems as well. That's a pretty cool incentive, I think, to get them to more people to play ranked matches. And I really need a pop filter, I think, because a lot of P's in these sentences. So it's an incentive to get people going, and I'm excited to see how it's going to be. Another thing they're doing is they're getting rid of the promotional matches. Promotional matches were the bane in my side when I played Ranked Conquest, because I would grind my ass out with frickin' trash randos, and we've all done it, so I'm not specifically picking on anyone. You get those dumbasses who DC when you're trying to qualify, or just don't know how to play Conquest in general. So, anyway, I'm getting a little bit off tangent here, but and then I would lose my promo match, and I'd have to grind out a few more matches just to try to get my promo match again, and probably lose. I mean, it would just be a constant tug of war. Anyway, say you're at 99 tribute points in the rank you're in, like Silver 3, we'll say, so in the system now, you'd have to play a match. Even if you got 12, it would only count for 1. You'd cap out at 100 TP, and then you'd have your promo match. And if you won your promo match, none of that tribute points would carry over. So you'd start out at 0 again. Now, you'd have a few games where if you lost, you wouldn't get demoted right away as a safety buffer, but that is carrying through. That aspect is carrying through to Season 4. So if you do make it to the next tier, or the next rank in that tier, you will not be demoted automatically. But once now in Season 4, if you have 99 tribute points and you get 12 tribute points on the next win, that will carry up and over. So you're Silver 3 at 99 tribute points, right? And then you get 12 tribute points. So you'll have 11 tribute points in Silver 2. So that is good. Again, I think it's to get more people into ranked matches, because the promo matches, you lose a couple of those and you're discouraged from playing again. It happened to me. I was getting, stuck in Silver 3 in Conquest, and I couldn't get out of it no matter how much I did. And this is back when I was streaming even. And I would rage and get salty, and it just wasn't good. So I decided to just start playing casuals. I had more fun with casuals. I could 5-man casuals. And that's how I got my clan started, because we had a group of 5 plus that would just group up and do casuals. Now we got a few people who are doing ranked joust with me, and once Season 4 starts, we'll probably hit that up again and grind that hard. We want to try to get platinum, diamond, masters even. So those are the changes that are happening in Season 4. Those are the major ones. The multiple splits, promo games gone. You get additional time when choosing or banning. There's going to be additionally, I think there is an ability to pause. 1 pause per side each game, and the pause will only last 60 seconds. And you can cancel it early, but it's only a 60-second pause, so I don't see why you would want to cancel it before that. But those are the rank changes. I'm going on about that too much, so I'm going to cut that short now, because we'll see how that plays out once Season 4 starts. I'm going to try to go over some things quickly for gods next. Probably not going to go over each god one by one. Just hit the bullet points, the major bullet points, and we'll go from there. And we'll see how things play out after 4.1, over the next few patches. What gets reverted, what gets, massaged and tweaked and twerked and everything else like that. So, yeah, let's get into that now. So, before we get into some of the bullet points that we have for the gods changes coming in Season 4, there are the fantasy points, or the season ticket, as it's called, is going to be free for everyone. So everyone can get fantasy points in Season 4. Now, you can buy in to the season ticket to get a booster or the ability to actually guess on the pro matches to get fantasy points that way. But you don't have to buy in. It'll be free. And I just wanted to touch base on this because you get some pretty decent stuff in it. So it's good that everyone's going to have the ability to do it. Hopefully, if you have to buy it each split, that it's not going to be too expensive. A couple hundred gems maybe. I think it might have been 1,000 gems for the season ticket last year or something like that. So as long as it's not ridiculously expensive, then that's okay. But you can opt to not buy it at all, and that's even better. So the main reason I wanted to bring this up, though, is there's a badass skin coming out from some of the specific chests that you get for season ticket rewards, and it's this what the hell is it called here? I have it right here. It is called Full Metal Vulcan. Now, this is a pretty badass skin. I have to agree. His turret looks like a freaking 50mm cannon. I don't even know if that's a real thing. His ult is like a mushroom cloud from a nuke. I mean, it's a pretty badass skin. I gotta say, out of all the skins that I've seen so far, starting season 4, this is definitely the best one. But that's that. Let's get into the gods now. Now, I'm not gonna go over every god. There's about a quarter of the gods almost. 25-ish gods are getting some type of change. And, that's a good chunk. I mean, there's 84 gods currently in the game. So, damn, but the major things I'm going to just go over. I mean, Apollo's getting a little bit of buff. Bakasura's getting a little bit of buff on his ult. Let's go. Erlang Shen is getting a nerf. Nike's getting a nerf too, but Erlang's pin is no longer going to cripple. So his initiation is going to go down the pooper. Probably see him not really being picked up as much maybe in the Pro League. I might be wrong, but I think the pin is going to be a game changer to some extent. Let's see. Skip that. We'll go over that in a little bit. Hun Bats gets a little bit of a massaging balance. We'll go over Jingwei in a little bit. Khepri. Khepri's Khepri, Medusa's got a little bit of a buff, but not really, not really. Nezatu, Nike, she was doing a lot of damage. Her shield was ridiculous. Her passive was pretty good, so she's getting a little bit of nerf there as well. Nuwa, nothing really there. Rom, Scotty, Sunny Wukong's getting a little bit of buff in his passive and stuff. Susano, I'm not sure if Susano's getting a nerf or buff here. His Wind Siphon's getting a buff, but his Jetstream's getting a little bit of nerf, and Typhoon getting massage. So I think he's going to be fine. And then Thoth. Thoth is getting a nerf. His ultimate is getting a little bit of reduction in it. His Glyph of Pain is getting a little bit of a buff, but and his Evade and Punish is getting a little bit of a buff. It used to slow, and now it stuns, which is not too bad. But there's an item for him, and this is going to go for Ra too, a little bullet for Ra. There's an item that will pretty much negate the nastiness of his snipes from his ultimate. Same with Ra. I think it pretty much only allows 30% of your health to be taken from an ability, and it's probably procs every 90 seconds or something. I don't remember the exact stats on the item, but most likely if you're smart and you're going against a Ra or a Thoth or even maybe a Scylla, you're gonna pick that item up, and hopefully it doesn't proc in between their ults. But so I mean, like, that was a very quick overview of the minor changes. Now, I mean, the Nike and the Erlang Shen nerfs, those are the somewhat major ones. But the major ones is we'll go over the Chronos, Jingwei, and Soul. those three had a hastened fatalis effect in their kit. That's being removed. So Kronos is no longer going to be able to chase your ass down when he procs accelerate. Same with Jingwei and her agility or whatever ability it's called, and Soul when she goes into disapparate or whatever. You have to actually buy Fatalis to have that happen. Excuse me. So that's going to change their play styles a little bit. Well, in reality, maybe at least for Kronos players, they're just going to pick up Fatalis anyhow. So, I mean, he can still do some tear. The item I don't think is too bad. Any item changes that you guys are curious about, go to smitegame.com. There's just too many for me to go over in this video. I mean, this is going longer than I anticipated already. So I'll put a link down in the description below. Now, that wasn't the major change, though. The major change in Season 4 is healing. Season 3, especially the fall split and heading into Worlds, it was all about the healing meta. If you had a healer on your team comp, your late game, depending on how things played out, but if you're pretty much even, your late game team comp would be much better because you could get into a team fight, get hurt a little bit. If nobody died on either side, the team with a healer could just heal back up and go back into another team fight pretty quick. Or even do it during the match, like if you had the team fight like a Sylvanas or anything like that. So if you were a healer and you mained a healer, rip the dream, okay? Because they're changing healing drastically now. I haven't done any of the PTS stuff. I don't play in the PC. I've looked a little bit at some streams and some YouTube content on it. Once I get my hands on it, I'll see it. But I mean, the items are changing. Their kits are changing. Hell, in general, I mean, I enjoyed Hell back when in Season 2 when I wasn't even that, competent at the game. I played Hell, and it was fun. The stance, and once you get it down, it's pretty fun. You can do a lot of damage and a lot of healing at the same time. Well, they've tweaked it from their original patch notes. I think she got 1 or 2 additional massaging tweaks there throughout the public test process. But my God, if you like to play Hell, you're gonna be hurting. Chang'e, from what I understand, has taken a huge hit, and Aphrodite didn't really get nerfed because her healing ability is pretty much single target. But Hercules had originally gotten nerfed a little bit. They've kind of rescinded that and reverted it kind of back to what it was. Sylvanas takes a hit. Ra takes a hit. All the healing is going to change. So it's going to be interesting the beginning of the season in ranked, in casuals, and specifically in the pro scene to see like the gods that would always be picked up. And if they got picked up, you'd have some issues. Guan Yu maybe is not going to be as viable. Ra's not going to be as viable. It's going to be interesting, and we'll see how it is. And I'll have videos once I get my hands on it. Once I get some god vids, I have a request out there for a god video coming out probably within the month or so once I finally start playing 4.1. But this video has gone on longer than I anticipated. It was supposed to be a quick overview, and it's probably just about as long as my damn god guides. So thank you for sticking around. And I appreciate it. So I'm just going to wrap it up here again saying, if you enjoy the video, hit that thumbs up, share it with anybody, subscribe to the channel. There'll be more Smite content coming down the line for sure. We're going to see how everyone's struggling maybe once 4.1 drops. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Good luck.